I resolved the GitHub integration issue, at least somewhat temporarily, by using a GitHub mobile token, right? So I integrated between the desktop and my mobile phone using the GitHub mobile app. So that allowed me to get past this issue um, and move on to the next part, which was to pull down the SQL from Gaucher RSS version 7 and use that SQL that I had embedded in C++ code and put it in its own file. Also, I wanted to look at connection strings, right? And so there are websites out there that show you all the different connection strings that you can use to access various databases, including SQLite. And so I want to run this SQL through the command line because that is going to minimize the copy and paste back and forth between a text editor and the command line in this particular case, and streamline things a lot more. But because this was embedded in source code, it was in quotation marks and it had other aspects to it that needed to be cleaned up for it to run successfully in the command line. And so that's what I do here, is simply take the SQL code and make sure that it can have a format that's going to be acceptable when presented to SQLite directly. And you just do copy and paste, right? Nothing dramatic, nothing earth-shattering. And once that is done and it's in a proper format, you can do .read and the file name, and SQLite will pick it up. And it won't actually give you a feedback that the operation succeeded, but you can do .schema or other commands to double check and verify what it is you submitted to the database and to see that everything ran the way that you expected. So what I see here is that everything looks to be in proper order. So I exit out of SQLite, and what I want to do next is take this SQL file, right, and I want to put it in a folder, and I'm gonna call this folder RSSDB schema. And when I actually ran this SQL and successfully created the database, I now have a database file. I'm also going to put that in a schema folder. This is going to be the reference and the essential template, starter template for the database for this project. Then I'm going to create a folder that's going to be called RSSDB active, where the database that I'm developing and how I'm actually using it will be placed, right? So the database that has actual data will be put in an active folder, and then if I need to recover back to an earlier state, I can do that.